Late last night on the East Coast, we found out that Chadwick Boseman, who I guess got his biggest piece of fame of his entire life playing Black Panther in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, starting with Captain America Civil War, and then moving on to playing him in both of the Avengers Infinity War and Endgame films and the Black Panther movie, and was scheduled to come back to play him in the Black Panther sequel, passed away at the age of 43 after a 4-year battle with colon cancer. I believe it was colon cancer. Obviously, for myself and many of you, we didn't know this man personally. He was a guy who was a charismatic actor, a guy who I think played T'Challa well. I think he was very competent in the role. He was awesome in Civil War. We didn't know the man personally, but he's somebody who a lot of folks connected with in those films because those films culturally tapped on something that a lot of people had wanted for many years. And he died. As fans, I'm sure people are probably wondering, well, what's going to happen with the character? Is it going to be recast? Are they going to write him out? I'm not really thinking about that right now, even though it's an understandable thing to think about. I'm thinking about the fact that this man apparently was diagnosed in 2016. Now, the reason why I'm saying that's because think about it. Can you imagine being Chadwick Boseman? You work your whole career to get this big break in Black Panther. You're going to start making a lot of money, getting a lot of fame and notoriety, playing this very important cultural character. Black Panther is a very important character, and the success of that film proves it. And then in the same year that Civil War comes out in 2016, which is his debut in the MCU, he gets diagnosed with colon cancer. I mean, that's talk about two different sides of the spectrum when it comes to life, right? And this guy was fighting cancer while he was shooting these movies. Now, you have to understand that even though there are obviously stunt people and making a film is in general pretty safe, making a film is very taxing on the body because these actors sometimes have to stay up for hours and hours and hours and not get any sleep. Sometimes they shoot at night. Sometimes they have to deal with actually doing some pratfalls and things like that. Most of the time, they don't do their own stunts. Obviously, you have stunt people, but still, being there is already taxing. It all depends on the movie. But what kind of blows my mind is the fact that this man had cancer and was fighting through the cancer while he was shooting these movies. And we have to understand, for those of you who don't know, and I've never had cancer, but I have a very close friend who did, and my mom died of it. When you have cancer, whether you're fighting it with chemotherapy or not, your body is very tired a lot of times, and a lot of times you have a lot of pain going on. There's pain in your body, either in the area that's infected or other parts of your body. And you're really, really tired. You get out of breath easily. You feel very lethargic and exhausted. And this guy had to go on set to make these movies. And remember, he shot 4 films in 4 years. Granted, he wasn't the star of all of them, but, in Endgame, he's only there for a small role. But still, that's a lot of work. No year-long breaks. I mean, he was back at, the soundstage pretty often. And I can't even imagine going through this pain of having cancer while shooting these movies. I mean, that's mind-blowing. And I kind of gained even more respect for this man because he was able to do that. And I wonder what was going through his head. I wonder if he knew when he was diagnosed that, okay, I might be in trouble here. Let me go ahead and make these films for my family. Because the man had a wife and a family. We know that. I can't even imagine what they're going through. My heart goes out to his family for sure. Without question. And it's just kind of mind-blowing because, he worked hard for 4 years. He ramped up his work. And he did other films too. Don't forget there were other movies he did during that time. Not just Black Panther and the MCU stuff. I'm only going off the stuff that I cover on this channel because, this is more of a nerd channel. A geek channel, My heart is with this man's family and with his children and his wife and his, everybody who's related to him and everybody who knew him closely. Nobody should ever die at 43. That is way too young to die. 53, I think, is too young to die. And in some ways, even 63. Obviously, I can't control what happens to everybody's health. I'm not God. I don't control those kind of things. I'm not Mother Nature. So these tragedies do happen, but it's just unfortunate that this man was blowing up. I mean, he was on his way, and his family will probably be taken care of by his estate and by Disney, I would hope. I would assume so. I would assume they would do that for him. But 43, man, that is extremely young. That is extremely young. I guess the message I'm trying to send to everybody is, as I always say in my videos, remember to take care of yourself and each other. I'm just now learning about health issues that I'm dealing with myself that I could have prevented if I took care of myself when I was younger. You got to take care of yourself. And I know some of y'all are young and think you're invincible. Oh, I'm 22, 23. I could run a mile in 2 minutes or less than that even in 1 minute. I don't know. I'm super athletic. I play basketball all the time. Whatever you're into, and you think nothing can happen to you, well, it can, because from what I understand, Chadwick Boseman was in good shape. You know what I'm saying? When you get sick, man, it's not prejudice. It can get anybody. And just remember to take care of yourself. And remember, if you have any loved ones today that are ill or old, give them a call. Because they're the closest ones to going through natural causes. And you want to make sure you remind them that they are loved, that you're thinking about them, and maybe even spend time with them. Even if they can be annoying. I can't begin to tell you how much that might mean to them if you just spend a little bit of time with them. I mean, trust me. It will uplift their spirit. You know what I mean? Anyways, that's all I have for you. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you soon.